Here's a look at the satellite view of those high clouds we showed you moments ago on the time lapse, drifting eastward through portions of Minnesota. And behind us out to the west, we have a few clouds as well from the Devil's Lake Basin through central portions of North Dakota. And radar is actually detecting a few flakes of snow from this activity, but by and large, it has been a very quiet day across the Central Plains. Great Lakes have some clouds, but most of the inclement weather moved well off the Atlantic shore. As we take a look at this system here, that's a big storm system swirling off the California coast. And it's this that will be working its way towards us as we go into the weekend. We'll have more on that in just 1 second. But for this evening, temperatures from 9 in the Fergus area, where Grand Forks now is at 13, 12 in Cavalier, and 16 this hour in Jamestown across Minnesota. We're seeing a lot of temperatures near 10 to 12 degrees. The windiest of the windy conditions is going through the James River Valley now. We still have gusts over 20 miles per hour there. Where you see the arrows dancing across the screen, that's where we have winds of around 15 to 20 miles per hour. So a little windier there. And taking a look at our Valley Skycam as the sun sets in almost the western sky, and on that equinox coming up a little later this month, it will do just that, setting exactly in the west. Kind of a fun fact about an equinox. Happens twice a year here and everywhere else. 13 right now at Hector. Feels like 1 below zero with an 11-mile-per-hour wind. It's from the west-northwest. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast shows this evening we'll have a mix of clouds and clear skies across the region. And thanks to the fact that we're clear right now, we cool fairly quickly into the single digits for most areas. A little bit of cloudiness moving in from the west as we head to bed tonight is going to mean that we don't get too cold overnight, but many of us will slip just below zero. Wind chills on your Wednesday morning look to be between 10 and 20 below zero as we get our day started on Wednesday. Now, heading toward midday, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds, more sun west than out east, and temperatures will be on their way up. But once again, it's going to be a day of very gradual warming into those mid-teens for many of us in the south, and we'll see a lot of single digits up to the north. So the warming trend, it's not too impressive, is it? But it's a dry and quiet trend, and that's good. It will not stay that way into the weekend. But for tomorrow, we start out at 2 below. Winds northwesterly will become a little more westerly throughout the day. Still 10 to 15 miles per hour in Fargo. Maybe a little more robust for some of you in Lakes Country as well. Your sunset tomorrow, 6:20 in the evening. Your hometown forecast for the drive home on Wednesday evening, 7s in Langdon and in Devil's Lake, 9s for Valley City and for Jamestown. Grand Forks tomorrow afternoon, 11 and 9 degrees for Babe the Blue Ox in Bemidji. Here's a look at the storm system that makes its way from California through the Colorado Rockies, and it makes its way into Iowa. Rain, sleet, and snow beginning in our area sometime Saturday afternoon. Now, it doesn't start with a lot of wind here in the Fargo area or point south, but notice the southerly track of the storm will bring the best chance of snow to our southern counties the way things look right now. Then as we go through the nighttime, the wind begins to pick up, the snow gets more intense, and by Sunday morning we'll have quite a bit of snow for many counties possibly, with increasing wind into our Sunday. Could make very tricky, if not impossible, travel conditions. Snowfall amounts, we're not going to advertise numbers yet, but it does look like the heaviest band focusing on our southern half of our counties into central Minnesota, says the American model. European model is green a little bit, so we'll keep our eyes on that and keep you updated. For now, we continue with some frosty scenery across the valley. Dan sharing this from Ada, Minnesota. Thanks for taking the time to upload your photo, Dan. On ValleyNewsLive.com, you can do the same. Our gradual warming trend continues through Thursday, and it gets even better on Friday. Take a gander at this. We cracked the 20-degree egg as we close out the work week in the mid-20s in the south. We'll see some sunshine. Then for Saturday, the onset of the storm, but not before we get into the low 30s. We have a chance at getting to freezing for the first time since January 7th. But don't forget how to shovel heavy, wet snow with this system to the tune of 6 inches or more for some in our southern counties next week. Not overly cold, but not hot either.
Yeah, we'll be above average for many days eventually.
Yeah, sometime in July we'll probably have a crack at that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,